So I'm just going to go on a weekend canoe trip going into the Algonquin interior, just doing a solo trip this weekend. And just getting everything all packed up. I just thought I'd take a tear through it here and just show you everything that I bring. Let's just see here where we'll start. Okay, well, I've got my my little hip pack here. This I pretty much keep on me all the time whenever I'm out there, especially whenever I'm going solo. For the main reason is this stuff here, and these are flares. So I bring 4 of those, and I have the launcher here, as well as the signal mirror. And it's just nice to have that around or on you at all times, because even if you're just going out and collecting wood or something, and you should unfortunately break a leg or twist your ankle or something, it's just great to have, nice to know that you've got a signal device on you, and you could possibly get some help. I also bring, this is kind of multi-purpose, I bring an air horn with me as well. This would be good for if I ever find a bear in my sight that can't be persuaded to leave. This would hopefully convince him, and also works well as a signal device. This here is for my my camera, just to waterproof it while I'm not using it. I've got my toothbrush here. The little cap comes off, and then it also has in the bottom is where the little toothpaste tube is. I've got my strop here for sharpening up my knife, just leather with a compound on it, on a piece of wood, and just like to keep a good edge on my blade while I'm out there. I have my light here, my headlamp, an Aurora. I've had this for quite a while. I think there's some brighter ones out there now, but this one here has served me well, been pretty reliable. I've got my little camera mount here, and spare batteries. I'm just bringing some spares for the GPS on this trip, nothing for the headlamps. I'm not going to be burning that out, and I'm going to be out there for such a short time that even if something were to go wrong, I'll be coming home before long anyway. So this is some sunscreen and hand sanitizer, and bug repellent. So that's pretty much everything, and that all goes into this little pack here. I've got my water shoes. I don't really use them much for water shoes. This is mainly for at the end of the day, whenever my shoes are soaking from the portages and getting in and out of the boat. I put these on just while my shoes are drying around the fire, and I put them in this little bag here. These are great because they can really fold up, and you can pretty much jam them in your pack and just go to anywhere. I bring a book. This is a good one I'm reading right now, Joe Lavallee and the Paleface in Algonquin Park. So reading about Algonquin Park while you're there, so good reading material. I always bring the full map of Algonquin. I know some people will just bring the section that they're going to be paddling, but I like to bring the full map just because I often like to go over it in the tent and just go over possible future trips and that sort of thing. I print out, I go on to Google Earth and I make my path there, and then I print that out with the waypoints, and I also put in my GPS, so this gives me a point of reference whenever I'm looking at the GPS. I can line up the waypoints. I've got a extra saw blade here for my collapsible saw, which is right here. This is fantastic. It's called the Sawviver. Works really well. I used to bring a hatchet, but this is more efficient. I find it a lot faster. Not to mention I did have a little hatchet incident, which maybe I'll talk about on the site. And I also have a just a little thin light cutting board here just for general cooking and cleaning fish if I'm doing any fishing. I've got my kitchen over here. Whenever I'm going solo, I bring my little 1-liter pot. If I go with somebody else, I'll bring the 2-liter. Again, all the makes and models here, I'm not going to go over all the details for the makes and models. That can all be found on maddythegoose.com. That's M-A-D-D-Y, thegoose.com. And I have everything that I bring here is all listed, make, model, and the weight. So if you want to get any details on this stuff, just jump on to Maddy the Goose. You can check it out there. All this here goes inside of this pot. I put it in this handkerchief here just to keep it from scratching the non-stick surface. And I just bring a spork. I just made this one here myself out of a Lexan spoon, and with a Dremel tool, just hack that out. This is the handle for the pot. My stove, love the stove. I've had this for a very long time. This is the simmer light and a sponge just for cleaning up, and the Eco soap here. So that, again, that all goes into the pot here. These are the pot cozies. These are awesome. I made them myself, and what they're made out of just duct insulation and tin tape, and it just changes the way you cook out there. This just sits in here, and then you can cover it up. So pretty much how it works really quickly is, if you're going to simmer anything, let's say something's supposed to simmer for 15 minutes, instead you just bring it to a boil, put it in this pot, cover it up, and leave it for twice as long. So you leave it for half an hour, you open it up, and it's good to go. So it takes a lot less fuel, you don't have to worry about burning, and it also just keeps things hot for quite a long time. This here is essentially my bowl, my rehydrator, my mug, and just general storage while I'm not using it. It's just the Nalgene 500 mil wide top container, and it also has a cozy. And like I was saying, this is good for rehydrating. If you're going to rehydrate anything like hamburger, corn, whatever, you just put it in here with some hot water, you cover it up, and you get back to it in about 15 minutes or so when it's all rehydrated and piping hot, ready to go. This is my fuel. I always keep the pump in it. I generally bring this size no matter what trip I'm going on. I don't have it quite full for this trip. If I'm going to bring any more, I'll just bring another canister of the same, or if I'm going to be going for a couple of weeks, I'll bring a larger model. I wrap the windscreen around it, put an elastic around that, and I've got these little paper clips here. Use that for whenever you wrap the windscreen around your stove, and use these to clip the windscreen's ends together to keep it from coming apart. And underneath that, wrapped around the canister, I have some duct tape, and that's just for general use. You can just never have enough duct tape. It's my water bottle. These are the new Nalgene's, BPA free. So just picked this guy up. Had to toss all my old Lexans, so I'm glad to see they came out with another hard model. So I have my handkerchief here. This one here I keep for making coffee. How that works is you pretty much just take it, put it over top of your container you're going to be making the coffee in, put the coffee in there, pour the water through, and take off the top, of course. And you just have then you've got drip coffee, so it's pretty light and easy way to make coffee. We've got the water system here. I've got the Nalgene Hiker. This thing is great. Not a lot of parts to it. It's pretty simple. I had a little crack here. This thing's about 7 years old. Had a little crack here. I just patched that up with some plastic and some super glue, as good as new. So I've had that for quite a while. It works great. These are just the tubes for it. And I've got my 6-liter MSR Dromedary bag here, my water bag. Usually fill this up as soon as I hit my site. And I got the little a separate attachment here for it, just a little easier to get the water in and out whenever you hang this up. I'd recommend picking that up. I always found the nozzle that comes with it is just way too thin. It takes forever to get any water out of it. We have the tarp. This is the Sil Nylon 8x10. Great tarp. First thing I do whenever I hit the site is put this up. Then I pump the water. And it's just nice to know that if it's going to rain, you're all set and you've got everything under it and you're going to be able to stay dry until it passes. You don't have to rush to set up your tent or just hang out inside there for the duration. I also have, believe it or not, about 180 feet of rope in here.